Rapport, the most powerful tool of beginning influence. How do you develop rapport? It's what's alike. You always align. What do you do? Validation is one of the most powerful tools. You have to align in thought and energy. How do you do that? First of all, people that are like each other tend to like each other. So you align in vocabulary. You align in body motion. Mirror and matching. You become alike in tone and physiology. Vocabulary is one way. Motion is the most powerful influence. You influence people by moving them. You want to get people flexible. We're going to go through this. Words are 7% influence. Tone is 38%. Physiology, 55%. Moving like someone else is the most powerful way to develop rapport. You pace and lead their motion. If you guys have been to boot camps, you know this is crucial. This is everything. Mirroring and matching body language and tone. It's the most powerful tool for connecting. Becoming like the person through use of voice and body. By using your voice and body, you can create rapport with who? Anyone. That's fascinating. The most skeptical person you can create rapport with. Tony Robbins, Mastering Influence. Can that dude knows how to create rapport? You think he could sell something? Think if Tony Robbins gave you a new patient workshop, what percentage would sign up? Everybody, right? And then if there wasn't somebody that signed up, what's the probability you can handle that objection? About 100%. You can develop rapport with who? Anyone. Motion equals agreement. Agreement equals influence. You influence a person when you bring them into agreement. How do you bring them into agreement? By aligning with body and tone. Motion is the most powerful tool for building rapport. Being able to influence is the ability to listen. We're going through 3 levels of listening. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply all this. Level 1, you guys know if you've been here, focusing on yourself. That's when you're trying to push your idea. When the sound of your voice in your head is louder than the voice of the person talking to you. Listen to your own thoughts. When you're listening in level 1, you are unaware of the communication being given to you. People are handing you silver platters all the time on how to influence them. If your motivation is to convince, you're missing all the cues they're giving you to change their perspective. Now, level 1 listening is when you don't know your scripts. Know your scripts so well that you don't have to think about them. Then you begin communication. You cannot hear their truth until you stop telling yours. So that's where you have to be so confident where you're at that you're willing to listen to someone else's perspective. Your attention, level 2 listening, sharp focus on the other person. You're really watching body language, listening to tone, listening to their words. You're watching how they move, you're listening to their words, and you're evaluating their tone and listening to emotion. Level 3 is all intuition. It's feeling, it's not thinking. Level 3 is intuitive. You actually feel what they feel. Now, when you come to these boot camps and you see the nonverbal influence, you begin to see what these boot camps are about. It's not about scripts, not about role playing. When you see the nonverbal influence, you begin to see. Usually people have to go to these 3 times. How do you get to level 3? You put yourself in their shoes. You align with them and actually put yourself in their situation. When you do that, you feel what they feel. When you feel what they feel, then you begin not only to evaluate their emotion, but you can almost read their mind. Because you think, well, if I was in that situation, this is what I would feel. And that's your next question. We're going to go through that. Intuition is an innate to innate connection. It's level 3 is total impact. It's a dance in conversation and energy. You're actually moving with the person. It's a communication dance. Level 3 is when your mind is aligned with your spirit. Meaning your thoughts come from your intuition. Right? Your mind is where fear is. Your heart is where love is. So you literally learn how to disconnect with your mind and create a dance in communication and energy. Your mind is reactive and defensive. Spirit is creative. So when you first get into this system, you're like, what you'll do is you come back from this weekend and you'll see something, go, wow, I know I should ask a question here, but I don't know what question to ask. That's level 1 thinking. Because you think, man, what question should I ask? That means you're in your mind. When in reality, how many times does a person say something, you feel in your heart, you know exactly the communication that you should say or what you should say, but it may be a very confrontive statement, so it processes through your mind, you say something different, and they walk out. Does anybody besides me that ever happen? Because your heart told you what you should say. Your mind told you, well, they may not like me if I say that. Right? When in reality, that was probably the right thing to say.